Okay, London and New York session done. Took one trade in London, took one on GJ. GJ pullback continuation signal day, looking for high of the day sell down to the previous day low for first target and down to the structure low for the final target. So I took this one in Asia, previous H8 high fake out, took it straight off the M15, was looking for a move down to that low of the structure, but instead it faked out the H8 low and then got above the previous day low. So whenever I see a fake out of the previous day low, I'm looking at the weekly setups because the daily is a momentum time frame for weekly setups. So whenever there's a daily fake out, I'm looking at analyzing the weekly. So weekly closed as a bearish fake out week, broke above previous week high and then closed below. Here is the fake out level. I'm bullish above, bearish below. Whenever I draw those fake out levels, I'm looking at the breakout levels as well. I'm overall bullish above, overall bearish below on these breakout levels. So I could see clearly on the H1, right exactly at London Open, there was this nice momentum bar. This H1 momentum bar faked out that fake out level, faked out the previous day low, and that's a breakout continuation. When you get a previous low fake out above that breakout level, that means that the peak isn't locked in, and I would expect the weekly to start moving up and creating a new peak or going up to the previous peak. So I was looking for a trade up to the high of the week. This H1 momentum bar took out the last H1 bearish breakout bar, turning the H1 bullish, took out the last M15 bearish breakout bar. M15 is now bullish, closed above the H8 breakout level as well. So M15, H1, and H8 traders are all on my side, and I took this straight off the H1 bar. Stop loss at the low of the day as price continued above that previous H8 high. Took this up to the high of the week as a first target. When I'm trading weekly setups, I'm looking for weekly targets. I did see this daily breakout level, so I needed to see how price behaves at that daily breakout level. And price was moving nicely. And then there was NFP at 7:30 over here in Jakarta, and I decided to exit. I never hold my trades past NFP. I have been burned many, many times before. Took 1 hour in this one. NFP, you never know how that first minute is going to play out. Sometimes it'll pump up, sometimes it'll pump down, it'll dump down. And I've had stop losses taken out and get slipped and lose a lot more than I expected. So I will never hold trades through NFP. So it took about 1 hour in this one. And NFP did drive the move up back to the level high of the week, but I did not re-enter. Here I could see a re-entry above here when it broke above the previous H8 high. First of all, I'm not going to enter straight off of one candle. I need to see price play out first. Once it broke above the previous H8 high, when we're in a breakout, I'm looking for a previous low fake out to take it up. And so I could see an entry at this M15 low fake out. And if I missed that one, could have taken one here as well. So could have taken that one, but I don't because I generally don't trade H8 breakouts when I'm inside the middle of a range. Don't like to trade when I'm in the middle of a range like that. I prefer taking breakout setups, and this is a H8 breakout. I prefer taking breakout setups above the previous day high or below the previous day low. So did not take that, but I can understand people who do because we're right at that fake out level. And so in general, I'm looking for trades at these white levels here. My favorite levels to take: fake out levels, breakout levels, previous day high, and the previous day low. So these are the four places that I look to structure my trades. And if I don't have a trade at one of these four levels, the second priority level for me is the daily open. So I could see this taking an H8 breakout here because we're at that fake out level. But it's generally I don't trade breakouts unless I'm breaking out of a range. So that's the only one I took in London, a 1 hour trade based off the weekly, and I did not take that continuation. So in London, I also trade gold, oil, DE30, and UK 100. UK 100 closed as an outside day, faked out the previous day low, faked out previous day high, and closed inside the range. Whenever I see an outside day, I extend the peaks, the highs, and the lows. And I generally don't trade outside days until one of the peaks get triggered. And it did not trigger, any of the peaks until after my session, so no trades on UK 100. DE30 was interesting. It's a bearish breakout day, but what I saw is on the monthly, we have a breakout month, and we're at that previous month high, uh, coming right down and fake that out. So London Open, first thing I saw is this fake out of that monthly level, faked out the previous day low, faked out the H8 low, and faked out the H4 low. And so that's a fake out setup for me. And I thought about taking a trade on this, but I decided to skip it. These monthly setups usually take a bit longer to play out, and I did not want to trade a monthly setup with NFP right around the corner. So skip this trade, but it would have been a nice one to take. Very similar to what I've been trying to take on the Nikkei, but the Nikkei one hasn't been playing out, but this one looks like it would have. So if I did enter, again, I did not enter this, but if I did enter, I would have waited for the M15 low, breakout low to get taken out, as well as the H1 low. So would have entered as price got above that, above this M15 high, would have entered above any of these levels, 1 minute closure above any of these, and I would have taken it up. But again, NFP was right around the corner. Did not want to trade with NFP right there. Other thing about this is that the daily and the H8 breakout levels were right here, and the weekly breakout level is right here. So would have expected price to have some reactions at these levels. I'm always looking at breakout levels and fake out levels. At this point, you can see what happens when the daily is bearish and the weekly is bullish. You have these price just gets squashed like that. So never like to trade things like this. That's why I'm always looking for alignment of time frames. So with my trades, M15 and H1 need to be aligned in order to not have movement like this. So no trades for me on UK 100. No trades on DE30. Gold was an interesting one. I kind of like gold. But we're in an inside a daily range, inside bar here, it creates a range. And I just did not want to trade until I get to one of these edges, especially when I'm close to nearby one of them. The other thing was on the weekly, hasn't touched the previous week high and previous week low. So we're closing in as an inside week. And we did not make a high of the week. So we're still in between these ranges, and it's just, for me, if you watch any of my videos, I always look to see where the range is, and I do not want to trade when I'm in the middle of that. So I did see this on the H8, broke above the previous day high, broke above the previous H8 high. Here's the H8 breakout level. Faking out the previous H8 high is a breakout reversal, and then getting below those levels, those breakout levels, is a false breakout. And to take a continuation, I need a previous high fake out to take it down. You got this M15 high fake out. I could have taken this down on the H8. So usually when I'm trading the daily levels, but I saw this one on the H8. This would have been a nice fake out continuation move on the H8. But again, we weren't. I was waiting for price to get above these ranges. It gets, for me, in my opinion, it's pretty dangerous when you're trading inside of a range. Best trades are always going to be at swing points. Always, always, always looking for swing point trades. Not something like this. I'm looking for price to get above that range. So did not take that. Yeah. So another thing, some people were telling me that this is a head and shoulders, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. So I used to trade patterns, head and shoulders, and things like that. But I traded it for about a year, and I was really good at identifying these things, and I could see those head, shoulder, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, and the best ones take out that left base, and so that's what it did. So these are some patterns that I used to trade, but I got rid of all those patterns, and now I just look at breakout levels and fake out levels. So for me, the market's not going down because I see a head and shoulders. Market is going down because we broke above the previous high of the H8. We're in breakout on the H8. That tells me that 100% of the traders are pushing this market up. And once we're not able to get to make a higher high and we close below the previous high, that's a peak fake out. Previous peak fake out, that's the first sign of a reversal. It means that the market is not able to make a higher high. So we close below the previous high. That's the first sign of a reversal, but it's not confirmed until market gets below that breakout level. So we're 100% bullish above this, and once I don't assume that it reverses until price gets below that breakout level. So once that gets taken out, that tells me that the H8 is now bearish. And so that's how I trade now. I don't trade patterns. Reason why is, when trading gets emotional, and I'm sure everybody who's watching this knows how emotional trading can get. I'm only looking for two levels: the fake out levels and the breakout levels, and it doesn't matter which time frame I am on. If I'm on the 15 minute, if I'm on the 2 minute, these levels remain the same. On the 1 minute, I can go down to the 15 seconds. I always have full clarity of what levels I am looking at. I need closures below these levels. My problem trading things like trend lines and three pushes and patterns now is that you can see these things differently on every time frame. I can look at the 2 minute, I could see different uh, patterns. If I'm really emotional, I could start seeing trend lines everywhere. I could start drawing trend lines at every position. I could see uh, you know different pushes as head and shoulders. Right now it looks ridiculous, but when you're in the heat of things, in the heat of the moment, and you're trading for, you want to retire early, you want to trade for your retirement fund and things like that, your kids college tuition and stuff like that. If that's why you're trading, it can get super emotional if you're dropping down to lower time frames and looking for uh, three pushes and head and shoulders and stuff like that. Everything will look like a head and shoulders. If you're looking for it, you're going to find it. So that's why I dropped all that and I just look at fake out levels and breakout levels. And my charts, even though it looks kind of messy like that when I'm trading, these are the only two levels that exist for me, as well as closing price. So basically, my charts pretty much look like this, and that's it. And that's why I dropped, patterns. And so lots of people keep telling me, yeah, you missed this head and shoulders, or there was this M at the top. Yeah, like I don't care about stuff like that. Fake out levels, breakout levels, that's it. So no trades on gold for me. And oil, I missed a nice one actually. There was a breakout setup on oil that I missed uh, right here. There's a bullish breakout day. So here's the daily breakout level. We're above the H8 breakout level as well. Higher time frames are bullish. One of the sessions closed inside, and I could see here on the H8. Here's the H8 range low. Oops. And here is the H8 range high, and we broke out above that in London, as well as broke out above the previous day high. Whenever I want to take a continuation of that breakout, I'm looking for a previous low fake out on the M15. We get that here. Could have taken this one up as a breakout setup off of here. This kind of, possibly depending on your spread, would have taken you out. But breakout setups, like I said, are always risky. And when I'm taking risky setups, I take risky stop loss placement. This one would have gotten at least about 3R if you took it. But the way that I manage my trades on breakouts, I wait for the last M15 bullish breakout bar to get taken out. And so I don't sit and watch my trades. I would have gotten an alert when this happens. And when I see that, I would have got about 1R in this trade. I wouldn't have taken out. And so I probably would have got break even on this trade. So that's how I trade breakout setups. I trail the M15 uh, breakouts, reversals. And so, this would have sucked if I gave back 3R and got 0. But that's just how I trade breakouts. But that setup didn't occur, the breakout setup on oil, but I just did not see that and did not take that one. So London session, only one trade on GJ. This one's getting long, so I'll just continue. New York, I did not trade the indices. So first, gold was still in the range, so I did not take anything on gold. Oil, I wanted to take it up, but at the new H8 bar, did not fake out any low or high for me. Did not fake out the H4 low or fake out the H4 high or break out of it. So there was no setups for me. And again, this would have been a breakout setup. Could have taken, this is slightly before the hour open. I wouldn't take that. This is also about 50 minutes before our open. So yeah, there's no setups for me here, but even if I did take one, it would have either been at this M15 low fake out or this one, but it did not have a hard time frame low fake out, the H4 or H8 low fake out for me to take it up, and did not break out above H4 or H8 high. So there's no setup for me here, but is nice, some nice movement. So no trades for me on gold and oil. Indices, SPX. I'll make this one real quick. SPX was super messy. We have all these levels here. We faked out the H8 high and the breakout level is right here. So bullish above, bearish below. We broke above previous day high, so I'm bullish on the daily. Current on the peak bias is bullish, but the breakout bias is bearish. We have a fake out level here on the week. We have the weekly open right here. We're in between a range on the H8 right here. It's one of the candles close H8 as an inside. So just super messy, and I just was not comfortable taking any trades on this. Did not want to cut through all this stuff. The H8 was also bullish here. So did not want to take any reversal on this one. Just super messy. So no trade on SPX, and NAS was very similar. We have, right below that H8 range as well. So let me show you how that looks like on the H8. There was an inside bar here on the H8. Whenever there's an inside bar, I extend the previous bar's highs and lows, and I do not want to trade until price gets to one of those edges, especially if I'm close to it. And yeah, just did not do that. That's what I was waiting for. But again, we're above the previous day high, so bullish on the weekly, on the daily, above the breakout level. So we're all bullish here, bullish, 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 above the weekly open. And what level is this? This is a weak breakout high. So again, all bullish above this. So wouldn't have taken this fake out, especially right below that H8 range. Just again, like super messy. Just need to plow through all these levels. I just it's not really my thing. Didn't want to do all that. And yeah, that's it. And so after that, I was actually bullish once it got um, stuck at this H8 breakout level, but it did not fake out an H4 or H8 low for me to take this up. So no trades on NAS and US 30. US 30 was the best one, I think. We have the previous day high right here, previous H8 high, also fake out daily breakout levels right here. We have the H8 range right at the top, did not take that out again, but did fake out all these levels, stayed below the weekly open. Lots of confluence to take this down. This M15 bar also took out that weak breakout high. But the H8 is bullish here. And this one, I just did not see this one. I was looking at NAS and SPX, and I just did not see this trade. Would have taken it like this down to the weekly range, H8 range, or at the low of the day. But yeah, did not take this one. Reason why is it did set up for me. I think this is a valid setup. The only thing I need to be careful of is the H8 breakout level, fake out day, and it did fake out right at that level. This is actually everything here was good. But I did not take this. I wasn't looking at it. I was busy with the other pairs instead, looking at SPX and NAS. I generally don't like US 30 as much as NAS and SPX. So missed this one. Probably would have taken about, no, probably this would have been break even for me. Would have waited. And once this gets above the H8 breakout level, it's less than 1 hour. I wouldn't have taken any exit. I think the better choice would have been entering in a lower time frame. But even when I looked at the lower time frames, it was all messy. The whole market this week has been like super messy. Yeah, I mean, this is not the typical looking structure that I like to trade. But even though I'm looking at just the levels, it did take out the levels I'm looking for, but it's just, yeah, just super messy. Yeah, so there was no trade for me. I didn't take anything on the US indices. Um, so the one I did take was on DE30. So New York session, I only took one trade on DE30. DE30, a quick one. Again, I said on the monthly, I wanted to take it up based off monthly levels. So in London, in New York, broke above previous day high. We're above the H8 breakout level, and I was waiting for a closure above the previous H8 high to take a breakout move. So took it straight off of this candle right here. Breakout setups, I take 1 bar stops because most breakouts fail, and so high risk, high reward for me. And in this case, did not continue up. And about around slightly before midnight, I decided to exit. So did not have any continuation. Took a bit of heat when it came down, but the next candle broke out above, so I was hopeful again. And when the next candle did not get above the high and closed inside, this is when I exited. So it took a slight small loss on DE30 breakout setup, and that's it. Ended the day, ended the week. Week has been tough. I think I only had 1 or 2 trades that actually made some profit. The rest were break even or small losses, like this one. NFP week is always like this. You just got to be careful, keep your head on straight, and don't overtrade. That's the main issue that I see most people having. That they get frustrated with these break evens, frustrated with the price movement, and start trying to force trades. Last thing I want to do is force trades. Plowing through all these levels is just not the smartest thing to do. So just got to be careful on weeks like this, and hopefully next week we'll start stronger, and let's see if there's any continuation on any of these moves and the market moves smoother. And that's it. So London took 1 trade on GJ, took 1 hour on that one, and then New York took a small loss on DE30. And that's it. Have a good weekend.